Across the country, educators from countries like the Philippines are arriving on the doorsteps of rural school districts, all to fill staffing shortages. Montana is no exception to welcoming these temporary teachers. MTN Investigates Keely Van Middendorp joins us with a look at the local level.
That's right. There doesn't seem to be any data on just how many foreign nationals are teaching in schools around the state. Now, MTN Investigates checked several times with the Office of Public Instruction, who said that their licensure department is not capable of tracking that data. While there seems to be no concrete numbers on the local level, the U.S. Department of State lists just 5 foreign nationals who taught in Montana last year. Now compare that to the roughly 30 Filipino teachers teaching in districts this year here in the state. That estimate given to MTN by officials with Montana's largest union. Now, while some think what looks like an influx of foreign educators is a good thing, others aren't so sure. I dug deeper into the issue.
There are some people here who actually gave me transportation money just to go back in the Philippines to see my wife when she was alive.
Meet Benedicto Pastrana, or Mr. Ben as he's been referred to over the past 4 years by the community he's come to call home.
What I felt is I lost my wife, but I have another family here in Shelby.
But that district isn't alone in seeing new faces move into their communities to fill teaching vacancies.
Have a good day, Miss Bonner. Thank you, you too. Love you, Miss Bonner. Love you too.
Both Shelby and Rocky Boy districts have made the list for critical educator shortages over the years.
Hard to find teachers. Not only we're a reservation community, a Native American school, but we're rural, we're isolated.
District officials say these Filipino teachers have brought a flood of relief to hiring droughts depleting rural communities of local teachers, and educators like Mr. Ben now consider the High Line their second home.
They're lovable and something like you can be fond of them, working with them.
But not everyone is feeling the love.
It seemed combative.
An email sent in 2017 highlighted concerns from the state union's top official after a Filipino teacher opted out of paying dues to support her family still living overseas.
It wasn't just, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving. It was more of, you have Filipino teachers? How many? Why do we have them? Are they licensed?
MTN Investigates found all 4 Filipino teachers did have their proper licenses and certifications to teach in the district that year. We then followed up with MFPE President Eric Fever, who said the union fights for teacher benefits across the board.
And I was very sorry to see them go because we're representing them regardless of the fact they're from the Philippines.
He'd like to see this as a pathway to citizenship as it stands now, but says the J1 program only hurts recruitment and retention efforts, which hinge directly on the union's fight for better teacher pay and benefits.
That's a very different thing than to talk about a temporary workforce from someplace else that will work for a different wage scale than maybe the folks that we want to keep there forever.
Shelby officials say they would love to hire teachers who stay for decades, but that's not the reality they're facing right now.
The fact of the matter is, I hire a lot of Montana teachers, and they work for 2 or 3 years for me, and then they leave.
Fever says it's up to the state to provide more resources to recruit and retain local educators.
It costs to employ teachers in Sunburst. Turner has 3 Filipino teachers. There are 10 teachers in Turner.
Or in some cases, the districts themselves to figure out a better way.
Maybe Turner just needs to figure out how to pay teachers better.
We are doing everything that we can with the limitations placed upon us to provide the best possible education for our students that we can.
And this would become very good.
When it comes to all Montana students, Fever says a push for diversity from within state borders is needed over help from outside the U.S.
We need more Native American faces in front of students in our classrooms. Well, we're not doing that with Filipinos. We're not doing it with folks who look like me either.
Rocky Boy is also hoping to employ more Native American educators after a new program down the road aims to graduate more teachers from tribal backgrounds.
They'll have 6 graduates this summer, so we've actually got an open pipeline now.
In the meantime, the district has found at least one long-term solution.
So I am now a very happy green card holder. I love my new family here. Like I love my children, my students. I love our staff. And I feel that, they love me back too.
Well, teachers like Mr. Ben cherish the time left in Shelby before heading back home.
It's a mixed emotions. Something like I'm sad because I'll be leaving this kind of community. But I'm Also excited because my country is maybe waiting for me. Yeah.
Now, MTN Investigates reached out to several of these companies recruiting these educators. One of them, Foreign Culture Exchange Consultant, says that they've placed 10 Filipino teachers here in Montana in just the past 5 years. We're now working on following up with these recruiting companies to see why these teachers incur tens of thousands of dollars in debt and how much money is being made off rural education. Back to you.
Coming up on the news at 10.